Jim Hunter joined by Roch Kubatko of MASNsports.com, the School of Roch. It is must-see reading 7, 8, 9 times a day, maybe even 10.
And I'm here like Matt Garza. I'm like Matt Garza. I'm doing this like my hair's on fire tonight.
There you go.
Shoving this segment down your throats.
Just don't go up and in on Dempsey. He's looking to pick a fight here. You know, the Orioles in September, the call-ups are really in a reduced role here because of all the contenders they're playing. Buck Showalter has mentioned the integrity of the schedule. He wants to keep the lineup out there. But one guy they really need to get an assessment on is Nolan Reimold. Now, Reimold's had a tough year. He was expected to be here all year, spent most of the year in AAA. What about Nolan Reimold moving forward?
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, because in this job, one of the perks is you're never going to know who you're going to be talking to at any given time. It could be Jim Palmer talking pitching. It could be Rick Dempsey with catching. I got to talk to Brady Anderson about the mechanics of hitting, and he worked with Nolan Reimold. He went down to Norfolk, he said, 4 separate times. He said that Nolan was lost when he first got there. He was hitting like 206 and 131 at-bats. Ended up hitting 320 for the month of August, and they just simplified things. Went over the mechanics of the swing, and Brady talked about how you need to get in certain positions during your swing, and you can't be thinking about it. As he said, it's a tough enough battle, batter against pitcher, let alone it's batter versus mechanics versus pitcher. That's too many battles. You can't be thinking about it. Nolan said he felt a lot more dangerous just after that first session. He felt a lot better. There's still a lot of work to do, but it looks like his swing's a lot better now, and Brady kind of gave him a pep talk and said, look, I've been there. I know what it's like. It's demoralizing when you're in a lengthy slump. So he's kind of trying to get in his head a little bit, clear that out some, and you know, you could see the difference right now. And you point to Nolan's first game back against the tough lefty John Lester. He had a single, then he had a sac fly against Daniel Barbie, throwing 100 miles an hour with that nasty slider, and hit a ball hard up the middle last night that was turned into an out. So there were some promising signs there, but I think there was a good working relationship there between Brady and Nolan.
Of course, the trading deadline to be eligible for postseason play has passed. That was August the 31st, but it doesn't mean the trades can't be made. If a player's cleared waivers, he can be moved. That means maybe a team needs somebody to help them get into the postseason. The best example of that, the Oriole fans won't want to remember, was Don Sutton on the Brewers. The Brewers got him after September 1st. He helped them get into the postseason, then wasn't eligible. Is there anyone on the Orioles team that a contending team might take a gamble on for the final few weeks of the season?
Is that 1982?
Yeah, that was 1982.
I think he beat Palmer in the last game, but we won't discuss that. But, you know, there was some talk about Kevin Millwood, maybe the Padres having some interest. But I talked to Andy McPhail today, and he said it would be a complete surprise if the Orioles made a deal. And I figure Andy would know. So apparently there's nothing percolating right there. So what does that mean? It means we've got a 6-man rotation right now. Would have been a little bit easier to clear a spot there, but they couldn't do it. So Kevin Millwood's still here. So now we're looking at Chris Tillman joining the team this weekend, and he's scheduled to start on Sunday. And everybody's being pushed back in the rotation now. So they are going to go with a 6-man. That means Mattis on Monday. I believe that would be, was it Arrieta Tuesday, Bergeson Wednesday. Everybody's just pushed back. So the rotation is affected by the fact that they couldn't make a trade. But they're going to get creative with it. There are ways where it might not be a standard 6-man, where you could have maybe some young starters shut down as they reach their innings limit. Some other guys move in. They also want to get a look at Rick Vandenherk beyond the relief appearances he's made. Keep in mind, he's out of options next spring, so they really need to start getting an idea whether he's a candidate for the rotation. So they've got to make room for him as well, and you can't have a 7-man rotation. It's a little bit cumbersome right now. Also tricky, we've got 3 off days this month, so guys are going to be going maybe on 6 days rest sometimes. I know some of the young guys like that, but you know how the veterans are. They're creatures of habit. They like to stay in their routines. They're going to be knocked out of those routines now.
Yeah, with Tillman now official, he'll pitch on Sunday, as Roch mentioned. That means it's officially 6. So with 2 veterans up there, Millwood and Guthrie, really the 2 you're talking about in the 1 column, but the other 3 an extra day with the innings might add up. Now, a couple of injuries to everyday players and backup players. Let's start with Adam Jones. I mean, he was hitting the back that pitch by Gavin Floyd on the last road trip in the first game, and he's been in and out of the lineup ever since. What's the latest on Adam Jones?
Yeah, he got a cortisone injection last night to ease that pain in his upper back. He's still a few days away at least. Now, Corey Patterson's back. That helps because they were really shorthanded last night, and that's hard to do in September with the expanded rosters. But they had second and third, one out in the 9th, and really no pinch-hitting options beyond Jake Fox, and of course Cesar Torres and Josh Bell both struck out. So it helps to have Patterson back, but Jones could still be out for at least a few more days, and so they're going to have to figure out what to do there. They weren't going to bring up a position player. Now they're talking about the strong possibility that they will have to do that. Scott Moore's name came up, a guy we keep forgetting about. He's off the 40, he's on the 40, he's off the 40. You know, he's been out of the lineup at Norfolk. He had an issue with his lungs. He's supposed to play tonight. That name came up today. We may see Scott Moore. 4. Beyond that, David Hernandez is scheduled to pitch an inning at Bowie tomorrow, another one on Monday. He'll rejoin the bullpen, but even then, they might still add another reliever on top of that. And, they're looking at guys at Norfolk. They're looking at guys at Bowie as well. I know there's a lot of sentiment for Dennis Farfate in Norfolk because he's had such a good year. He's off the 40. I know fans think he deserves another chance. He might be in the mix, but it looks like we'll have 2 relief pitchers, including David Hernandez, and we could get that position player maybe with Scott Moore.
All right, now be good tonight. No hair on fire in the press box. No going up and in high and tight on Molesky.
I'll try not to charge the mound.
I'll try to get along tonight. Roch Kubatko, check him out every day, several times a day. MASNsports.com, the School of Rock. Outstanding information on the Orioles.